I'm in the state Senate now. I worked on some legislation this year, a big mix of legislation related to the city schools. One notable piece of legislation that I got passed and which is going to the governor's desk and likely to be signed is called Teach for Missouri.
Was that part of the MoHELA bill?
It was. It was part of the governor's MoHELA package. I voted no on the bill. It wasn't something I supported. However, in the Senate, we have a motion, a procedural maneuver. It's called the PQ. It's moving the previous question. It's when the majority votes to stop debate and cuts off the right of unlimited debate. It's a tradition in the Senate of the filibuster where anyone can talk as long as they want, but sometimes you can see a freight train coming down the track, and that's the PQ freight train. It means they're going to shut off debate and you'll have no opportunity left for compromise. It was clear to me and a couple other of my Democratic colleagues that that was going to happen. There were a few colleagues who held out, who didn't believe that the Republicans had the votes to filibuster. I anticipated that they did, and so I went to the table and I was able to negotiate and get my Teach for Missouri bill in the MoHELA package. And what it is it's basically a deal with any kid who's in the top 10% of their class, any senior in high school, in the top 10% of their class, according to their GPA or their ACT scores. And it basically says, if you'll agree to stay in Missouri and go to college here and get certified to teach, the state will forgive 1 year of your college tuition loans in exchange for each year that you'll agree to teach in a district that's not fully accredited. Predominantly, St. Louis and Kansas City will be the recipients of these teachers. So it's an attempt to do three things. Number one, stem the brain drain by which Missouri is losing so many of the brightest young people to the East Coast or the West Coast. They go to college, one of those places, and a lot of them never come back. Number two, to relieve the crushing debt burden that faces a lot of kids. I know some kids that I teach come out of college with over $100,000 of debt. And this way, if you know you'll get all your loans forgiven, that relieves some of that burden. And thirdly, but most importantly, it puts some of the best and brightest young people into the school districts where the need is the most acute, districts like St. Louis City and Kansas City. So that did get passed. I had several other proposals, many of which passed the Senate, many of which passed the House, but they didn't pass in the same number of bills, which is one of the quirks of legislative life. If you pass the same proposals in different numbered bills, then they don't actually pass. And that's what happened to me this year. One of the proposals, I had some things that liberals liked, some things that conservatives liked. The one thing that everybody agreed on was that nobody liked my whole package.